Hello, babes. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. So I recently started rewatching Sex and the City again. I've been pretty busy and had my own things going on, but Sex and the City is one of my comfort shows along with a few others. And I love talking to you babes about it. So I wanted to discuss the episode where Carrie is dating this politician who has a very special request. And that's for her to make it rain on him. So let's get into it. So the episode opens up with Carrie alongside Bill, the politician, on his campaign trail to become city comptroller. First off, Carrie is serving looks the moment the episode starts. From head to toe, she was given fashion, okay? The hair, bouncy, full, shiny, the sunglasses framing her face perfectly, the trench coat wrapped around her just right. Carrie may get on my nerves from time to time, but honey, she will give us looks galore. Things are going pretty well with her and the politician. I actually liked her with him and how she didn't feel like she had to be someone else. Unlike with Big, where she never fully felt comfortable being herself. Even though Big didn't explicitly tell her not to be herself, he made her feel that way because she felt insecure and inadequate around him. The politician was also fun and not a stick in the mud. Of course, Big wasn't boring, but I felt like Carrie was more free with Bill. Even though he was a politician, she didn't feel this immense pressure dating him. Partly because she knew he wasn't a 40-plus-year-old man still trying to live like a playboy. Big. Then we cut to Steve and Miranda, and y'all, my God. Every time Steve comes across my TV, I want to throw something.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He doesn't even have to say anything. His presence alone irritates me because I just know he's going to say or do something that pisses me off at some point. So Steve wants to lock Miranda down and make things exclusive. Of course he does, because Miranda has a lot to offer. A clean condo, unlike Steve, a great career, stability. Meanwhile, he's living in a damn pigsty. I know that y'all saw Steve's apartment and yuck!
Yuck!
Absolutely disgusting. I couldn't even believe he had the audacity to bring Miranda up into that apartment. Are you not embarrassed? Miranda, this was your moment to get out of there, babe. The girls meet for brunch and discuss Carrie dating Bill. Of course, Charlotte wants to help out with the campaign because she's always eager to meet a man.
I want to help out with the campaign. Since when are you interested in politics? Always. It's a really great way to meet men. And with Carrie by our side, we can just get to meet the inner circle and all the really interesting donors. By interesting men, she means single and rich.
Miranda clarifies that the man Charlotte wants to meet is single and rich, and honestly, I don't see why that's a problem. Charlotte comes from wealth and upper class society. Why would she want to date a scrub or some dusty bartender who needs his woman to play second mother and teach him basic hygiene?
I said it. I'm not taking it back. I met you.
That wouldn't even be acceptable in her family. And Charlotte was a woman who knew her worth. She knew her value. And a lot of people get offended at people knowing their worth and value because they themselves don't have self-worth. Anyways, Samantha bringing up the president had me cracking up because yes, Samantha.
The country runs better with a good-looking man in the White House.
Miranda tells Carrie about Steve wanting to be exclusive, and Carrie asks if she's dating anyone else.
I don't know that I can make that kind of commitment.
Well, how many other guys are you dating?
That's not the point.
Miranda rightfully tells her that that's not the point because it absolutely isn't. Why should she settle instead of waiting for someone on her level? Why should she settle for Steve?
I mean, that's nasty.
See, Carrie is that friend who sometimes encourages you to settle just to say you have a man and not really wanting your friends to succeed or excel because you are not in a good relationship or they're insecure with themselves and they don't want to see their friend level up and actually be in a good, stable relationship with someone who they are equally yoked to. I mean, even Carrie wouldn't date Steve.
No, I'm going to pass on that one.
Carrie suggests Miranda make a list, and I always say once you have to start making lists about a relationship, it's usually time to end it. Not always, of course, but most of the time you're forcing yourself to stay and trying to come up with nice things to justify when deep down the cons outweigh the pros. Samantha is at the bar looking absolutely stunning. I loved the way Samantha looked in this episode. Like every scene with Samantha, she looked incredible. I also love her hair styled like this. It's given old Hollywood glamour. She's chatting with a guy she seems to have a connection with, but honey, when he steps down off that bar stool, Samantha was clearly looking for the rest of him.
Nice to meet you, Pink Lady. I'll give you a call.
Bye. That is funny.
Y'all, this scene makes me laugh every time. As a tall girl, I felt Samantha in that moment, okay? Like, he was charming, but she was definitely caught off guard. Later, they're at a campaign party and Charlotte is clearly on the hunt for her next husband, but I need to know who did Charlotte's hair in the episode because they had my girl looking crazy. Meanwhile, Miranda brings Steve with her to the party, and this is exactly why being equally yoked matters. I don't want to have to filter you or explain what's appropriate and what's not, especially at an event like this. This is not How to Train Your Pet Dragon. Date someone on your level who understands time and place, and clearly Steve did not understand those things.
Maybe you could fix a couple of parking tickets for me. I owe the city of New York $500.
Later on, Carrie and Bill are back at her place and he finally tells her about one of his fantasies.
Each other all fresh and clean.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And then let you pee on me.
Y'all, Carrie's face had me hollering. I always find it interesting how men in positions of power sometimes have very specific kinks or fetishes, and it rarely stops at just one thing. It can start small to test boundaries and then escalate. Some of it ventures into very strange territory, and women definitely need to be aware of that, not just with powerful men, but any man. Carrie tells the girls about it and they all share their opinions.
This is so typical of men in power. They just love to be dominated and humiliated.
What did you say when he asked you? Well, I told him I'd just gone, but maybe another time.
I once had to stop eating meat for 6 months.
So this is what it's come down to. Ready, set, pee.
Samantha, of course, is completely supportive of it and says it's very typical of men in his position, which, as I stated before, I agree with. Carrie is clearly uncomfortable though, and I don't blame her. They hadn't been dating that long, so it feels a bit sudden. I also think women sometimes feel pressure to go along with what a man wants sexually so that they don't upset the dynamic of the relationship. Meanwhile, men generally have no problem expressing their desires or expectations, putting their needs first, and sometimes not even satisfying the woman that they're in a relationship with. While a lot of times a woman will fake it just to boost the ego of said man. Carrie didn't really know how to respond in that moment because she enjoyed the relationship with Bill and didn't want to jeopardize it. And when you think about it, women constantly put men's needs above their own comfort. So this situation really isn't that different. Later, Carrie goes out to eat with Bill and refuses to drink water because she assumes she'll eventually have to fulfill his request. They talk about her column and he's surprisingly calm about her writing about him, but when he tells her he won't be able to stay the night, honey, Carrie grabbed that glass of water so fast. That food had her sweating and everything, and I love me some extremely spicy food, but I know everyone can't handle that kind of spice. Meanwhile, Samantha decides to give the guy she initially dismissed a chance and finds out he was telling the truth about his bedroom skills. When she goes on a proper date with him later though, she notices that his jacket came from Bloomingdale's boys department and immediately is like, absolutely not. Samantha said, girl, it's time to get up out of here. And she tries to make her exit quiet. However, he notices upon him returning. They end up joking about it a bit after she attempts to leave, but Samantha clearly realizes the situation just isn't for her.
You shop at the boys department.
So what? The clothes fit me better, plus they're cheaper. Where do you shop? The big and tall horror store?
You know, you're nothing but a big dick with a little man attached.
And you're nothing but a big pair of tits with too much extra legroom.
Then we get to Dust Mite Steve telling Miranda he loves her, and she ends up agreeing to be exclusive with him.
You're the best woman I ever met. I want you to know
Meanwhile, Carrie is back at home with Bill and they've just finished doing what they do. He suggests they hop in the shower together and honey, Carrie's eyes said, "I beg your finest pardon. You want to do this now?" She was clearly not in the mood to be standing over this man performing the rain shower dance with bodily fluids. Carrie finally musters up the courage to tell him she's uncomfortable with it, and he casually breaks up with her while standing in the shower. Excuse me? Claiming that the sex column she writes isn't good for his political image.
You're into, it's just never really been my thing.
Something I want to tell you too.
What does that mean?
Well, they thought it was really funny and clever, but that it was a lot about sex. And they don't think it's such a good idea for me to be dating a sex columnist so close to the election.
And, sorry, what? You just told her you liked her column. And honestly, isn't that so laughable? He had no issue with Carrie writing that column before. In fact, he pursued her and convinced her to date him when she was initially hesitant. And he knew she wrote a sex column. It wasn't like it was something that she hid and he just found out about it. Now, am I saying they were going to get married? No. But I do believe he assumed that because Carrie writes about sex, she would automatically be open to his kinks. I don't know if he ended things because Carrie didn't want to participate in that particular request, or if he was already planning to end things anyway. And maybe he just wanted to let her do that one request before he broke it off with her. But it definitely felt very convenient that the moment Carrie said she wasn't comfortable, suddenly her column was a problem for his image. I don't know, the timing just seemed a little too perfect. Either way, I'm just glad Carrie didn't force herself to do something she was uncomfortable with just to please him. And with that being said, this video has come to an end. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure your notification bells are turned on so that you always know when I upload. And I will catch you guys in the next one.